Hello, welcome everybody. It's me, Sweet Lou, back at it again. Hey, I just want to say thank you to everyone that's out there, has been following the page on Facebook. I know it's been a while since I've been putting out any kind of content, but we've had some issues in the past few months that have been getting banned on Facebook. You know, we figured out the little problems that we've been doing, got them fixed, not getting banned much now. Now it's stopped. However, putting out more original content, more memes, putting out some more political, stuff that's going on, with everything that's been going on in the country today. Okay, everyone's been tracking the followers. I want to say thank you to all of you, every single one of you that have been patient enough to stick with me, and leaving comments, engaging in conversation, even with the trolls, everyone that's involved on the page. Thank you so much. Like I said, we've had a little bit of hiccups, but hey, I'm back now. I'm going to be putting out 2 videos out in the week, so look out for me, Sweet Lou Special, on Tuesdays and Thursdays. I'm going to be doing pre-recorded shows, podcasts, and putting out my commentary and information on what's going on in the media and in local or national politics, I should say. So hey, let's just get this started, shall we? All right, so biggest thing, impeachment, right? As we all know, this entire debacle of what they call an impeachment from the Democrats and from the House Dems has been a complete mess. It has been such a pain, and nothing. Okay, as we all know, the impeachment started off because of a phone call with President Zelensky of Ukraine and Trump wanting to have an investigation on why Hunter Biden was working for Burisma, which is a energy gas company in Ukrainian gas company, right? Making what, $50,000 a month? I don't know. That's just hearsay. Maybe fact, I don't know. He was probably making more, right? Sparks off this whole impeachment. What a mess. Abuse of power. Contempt of Congress. Complete mess. As everyone knows now, acquitted in the Senate last week. Great. Fantastic. We all saw it coming. Okay? The House Democrats didn't do anything. They sped up the entire process. They got total partisan witnesses to come in, give up their little speeches, or, like the professors from Harvard saying, oh, yeah, the framers did not intend for this. The framers, Barron may be named Barron, but, he can't be royalty, blah, 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 blah. Same old shit, different tune, whatever. All partisan. All complete partisan. Every single person that was a witness in this impeachment inquiry in the House all had Democratic ties. Even it took one person, one witness that was a professor from, I can't remember what university he was from, but even he said that, like, we do not have enough evidence that would support this abuse of power, contempt of Congress, whatever. There's just not enough there. Not enough fact, because if you watch the entire impeachment inquiry, every single witness was just hearsay. It was just, oh, I heard it from Joe Blow, I heard it from them, that who talked to Sondland, and then who talked to, so-and-so, and that so-and-so had talked to Trump. No one had heard anything, talked directly to Trump at all. Not a single one of them. Maybe Gordon Sondland was the only one. And even he supported that there was no quid pro quo, whatever. The only thing that quid pro quo was a success for when it comes to the Democrats is teaching the American people a little bit of Latin, okay? It's not like it was illegal anyway. When it comes down to the nitty-gritty, was it completely ethical? No. But, however, impeachable? Absolutely not, okay? So, it comes down to this. Excuse me. It comes down to this. That why was Biden, or Hunter Biden, on that board with Burisma in the first place? Did he get into that position because of his father's name? Yes. More than likely. What was his qualifications? Didn't even speak the language? Now let me break this down for you. This has been my piece of input on this entire inquiry, on this entire impeachment debacle from the very beginning. Okay? It comes down to this. And this is what I believe. Not based on fact. This is based off of people that I've talked to, got family members in Ukraine. My wife's from Ukraine, so on and so forth. So I get a little bit of, input and from their opinion. But this is what I believe. I believe that Biden's son was put onto that board for a reason, because he's obviously related to, at the time, Vice President Joe Biden. And that so happens that he's put on the board at the same time that Ukraine is being pushed into the European Union, around the time that Poroshenko had became president of Ukraine, right? So this is what happens. The economy was pretty good. It was decent in Ukraine. The hryvnia was about 8 to 1, when 8 hryvnia to $1. Now it's about 22 to $1, right? So what happened? They get pushed into the European Union. Putin doesn't like that. He gets upset, starts this whole proxy war into the east, and in Donetsk, the annexation of Crimea. By the way, Crimea was voted, but however, somewhat forced. Take it however you want it. So what else happens? They go into war. Economy crashes. The hryvnia just explodes, right? What else goes up? The price of natural gas that everyone in Ukraine needs for heat, because it gets cold as hell out there in the winter and is a very valuable resource. Also, is Burisma, selling supplies to the Ukrainian government to fund the war for the Ukrainian side? Are they sending fuel, natural gas, any kind of other resources? So how do we know that American taxpayer funds are not being funneled into Ukraine to fund this proxy war with the Russian separatists in the east and not going into Biden's pocket? How do we know that? We don't. Is it worthy? Is it worth it to see that, yeah, this is a possibility? Absolutely. So this is why it all started. That's my belief of why the entire war started in Ukraine. It's simple, because money. The industrial war complex. Everyone knows this. There is big money in war. All right. So, total shit show of an impeachment. And so, what is one thing that when it goes to the Senate trial, that all the Democrats and everyone in the media is complaining about? Oh, they're not bringing out witnesses. Oh, no, they're not calling, John Bolton. No witnesses. This is insane. Why no witnesses? Okay, so let me break this down for you, okay? And it comes down to this, is that you already have the House Democrats that sort of got their intelligence, or got all their facts and got all their evidence that they needed. They talked to all the witnesses that they need. They even said, oh, we have more than enough to impeach the president based off these facts and evidence that we've gotten. So why didn't they get the witnesses that they wanted in the trial subpoenaed for during their inquiry? Oh, but you're saying, Trump denied the subpoenas. Okay, well, here's the thing about the subpoenas when it comes to the House. Okay, the House of Representatives. Yes, they do have power to subpoena. However, it's not legal binding when there's a checks and balances against the executive branch, which exercise its presidential executive powers. Okay, they could have easily gone to the Supreme Court, brought it civil suit, and requested through the Supreme Court of the United States to legally subpoena John Bolton if they wanted to. It would have taken a little bit of time, but it would have gotten the job done. They could have done that. They had every opportunity to get all this information, get all these witnesses and facts, if they simply just went to the Supreme Court of the United States and subpoenaed them, because then they will be legally bounded to and forced to come into to testify. And if they don't, then they can get arrested for contempt of court and and face consequences there. There is no need for any more witnesses in the Senate trial. The Democrats had already specifically said many times that they had enough facts and had enough evidence to convict and impeach and remove the president of the United States. So why? That's like a prosecutor coming in and saying, "Hey, defense, we're trying to get you, bud. But hey, can you call in witnesses? Can you call in witnesses so that that can hurt you? So, kind of make us look good?" No, that's not how it works. That's not how any of this shit works. Okay? It's not a criminal trial for one thing. But however, if the prosecution, which is the House Democrats or the House managers that came in, they're the prosecutors. They're supposed to provide all the evidence already when they're coming into trial, right? They did. And then they're going to ask for more witnesses and, delay. No, what they did is that they didn't do their job properly while doing the investigation in the House. And then they're just trying to make it more of a bigger shit show when it comes into the Senate. That's all it was, Now, it goes to my point here, in my opinion, about this entire impeachment and Senate trial, okay? The big worry was this, and that I've heard from people on the left that have been talking about, it was abuse of power on Trump because, he just wanted the investigation announced into the Bidens so he can have political gain, so that when he's debating against possible Joe Biden nominee for the Democrats or president, that you could say, "Oh, the Bidens are corrupt." That's why he's doing it. It was his abuse of power, not for the public, not for the American people, but for his own political gain. Well, let's analyze this entire thing. Now, President Trump has been impeached in the House, technically, and they keep saying, the impeachment will follow him for all of history now. But wait, didn't the Democrats just do what they're claiming against Trump? Now they can use that against him on debates and against President Trump when it comes to re-election. Why vote for Trump? He's been impeached. Wow, doesn't that sound kind of like abuse of power? Huh. So who really got played, America? We did, right? Because this was all crap from the beginning. They had no leg to stand on. They knew that they didn't have anything to go in. And so what they did is that they wanted to say Trump abused his power to gain political gain, just so he could say, the Bidens are corrupt. Don't vote for Joe Biden. He had his son on Burisma. And then now the Democrats can have this little leg up and say, don't vote for Trump because he's been impeached. Who really got played? See, break it down. I knew there was something this entire time. And I kind of opened my eyes about it when I heard someone say, but he just wanted to say that the Bidens were corrupt so he can use it as a one-up on his side. Well, it looks like the Democrats have successfully done that by saying, we impeached him in the House. Here's your little pin. What a joke, And then they wonder why everyone's making fun of the Democrats, why they look so embarrassingly stupid up there. This entire thing was a mess. They knew it wasn't going to go anywhere, but they still tried. They still did it anyway, just so that they could say, we impeached him. This was a partisan thing this entire time. When you have multiple House Dems saying, 2 years ago, we're going to impeach Trump, or right when he just got inaugurated, we're going to impeach Trump, talking about for a couple years that they wanted to impeach Trump. And now they got, something, we're just going to try. We're just going to close our eyes and throw a dart at the wall, see if it sticks. But it didn't. He's made themselves look more stupid. As a matter of fact, it probably worked out more in Trump's favor. Now that it kind of opened the eyes of America to say, hey, this is kind of bullshit. It does seem kind of partisan. And I think as the polls have already shown here in recent month or so, I guess you could say, during this entire impeachment witch hunt, that it did work out in Trump's favor. Trump is nearing a 50% approval rating in the United States, has gone up, and that's great. That's awesome. So, kind of backfired for the Democrats. However, I will say watch out for this. For whoever's going to be the nominee for the Democrats, when it comes to debate time against the president, I can almost guarantee you now that they're going to bring up, he's already been impeached. Hell, I haven't been watching the Democratic debates, but I'm sure they already brought it up a couple times. I'm sure there's proof and they already have. So you see, who really abused their power? Was it the House Dems or was it President Trump? Well, you know what I believe. I feel that it is the House Democrats. So, after impeachment, right? We have removal of the Vindman brothers, or Lieutenant Colonel Vindman, Alexander Vindman, I believe is his first name, entire full name, and his brother, which was whatever his position was in the White House. They were removed from the White House, escorted out after the acquittal. I believe it was on Friday. And then you got Joe Biden on the debate saying, everyone stand up and give a standing ovation for Lieutenant Colonel Vindman for his bravery, stunning bravery. You know? And then here's keywords that the media is using. Fired. Fired. Was he fired? Yes. But not in the aspect that you think of, oh, he lost his job forever and that he's no longer in the military. No. That's not how it works in the Army. Okay? Trust me. I'm in. I've seen commanders' drivers get fired over a lot less than whatever Vindman did. Which was... he didn't really have any substantial proof. No evidence, no like firsthand words from Trump. It was just his interpretation of like the translation of the entire transcript. Yeah, I listened to part of his testimony. Very questionable for one thing, and it was all I think just to get his face and get some attention for him. And he's got the one thing with him that he's a lieutenant colonel in the military, in the Army. But I've heard some rumors, can't say that it's fact. I'm just reading what some people have said on some veteran pages that I'm a part of, that, even his deployment was kind of sketchy, quite questionable. Excuse me. And so, again, not pointing fingers, not saying that this is fact. This is just hearsay that I've kind of read, stumbled upon. But, very questionable. Very questionable. He didn't even have, very substantial, very objective facts here. It was just based off of feeling. And that's what the entire Republicans were saying. This is this is substantial. This is based off of no facts. It's not even on firsthand knowledge from engaging with President Trump. This is just what feelings and what I heard from someone that heard from someone else that heard it from their grandma that heard it on a recording. Even at one point they were like, oh, well, I can hear President Trump because he speaks very loudly on the phone. Oh, come on. Get the hell out of here. Anyway, so fired, right? Everyone thinking, oh, no, you got him out of the military, got him out of the Army, no, he's just reassigned. He's getting his ass somewhere else, all right? Is it retaliation? In the scheme of things, yes. Illegal? No, okay? And let me tell you why. Okay, Commander-in-Chief, he can do whatever the hell he wants with military personnel, okay? Now, however, if he had removed him during the entire impeachment trial and the entire impeachment process, yes, it will look questionable, but is it retaliation in the scheme of the law? No, because he's not being removed, he's not losing his pay, he's not being demoted, he's not, no negative actions are coming against him. He's just being reassigned, okay? So everyone calm down on this. Oh, he's got fired. Dude, he didn't get kicked out of the Army for what he testified. He just got reassigned. And why would you want the guy in the White House anyway? If he's going to be making statements of, well, I feel like it was like this. I feel it was for his political gain when I was looking at the transcript. Dude, he released the transcript. Everyone read it. Kind of questionable? Yes. On ethics? Possibly. But however, illegal? No, not in any way, shape, or form. Which brings me to another point of the entire impeachment process that everyone is flipping out about. Okay? This is not a criminal trial. Not only that, but they did not even bring up criminal charges against the president. Okay? This was on what they assumed or what they felt was high crimes and misdemeanors. Was abuse of power high crimes and misdemeanors? That's a very vague statement, right? Because if I abuse my power and position to, let's say, bribe someone or, or like another kind of quid pro quo as a sexual harassment kind of thing, then yes, that is abuse of power. But however, that would be the crime of harassment and the crime of bribery, right? No charges, any kind of legal charges were brought up against the president of the United States. And the biggest joke of all of them, really, contempt of Congress. Wow, checks and balances in our government, right? So we have the executive branch that doesn't want to listen to the Congress. Congress doesn't have to listen to all the time to the president. And then you have the SCOTUS, which got really power, some over both, but it's all big scheme of big checks and balances between all three branches of the government. Well, contempt of Congress. Why? Just because it was because he didn't follow through with the subpoenas? And he didn't really have to? Whatever. They were just throwing shit against the wall, seeing if it sticks. But again, like I said, to the Vindman thing, even Gordon Sondland was fired. But we've already established that, again, when it comes to the ambassadors, they work at the pleasure of the President of the United States. And so they could be removed. It's not like he got fired from the State Department. It's not like he's losing pay. Just reassigned, moved out of his position. Again, illegal. You got Occupy Democrats online saying, "Oh, this is so illegal. Oh, this is illegal." No. If he got fired, as in like completely removed and not getting paid anymore, then yes, possibly, questionably. But especially when it comes to Lieutenant Colonel Vindman, the man wasn't kicked out of the Army. Simply reassigned. Anyway, that's the entire problem. Wanted to clear those things up. Okay, and one thing that I really wanted to talk about was the problem with the left never wanting to admit that Trump has done anything right. Never, not even 1 ounce of saying, "Oh, this was right. Good for him." These media outlets on the left, leftist media outlets, are just so overly obsessed with the president. They can't keep his name out of their mouths for one day. And so I'm saying this because I'm getting to a point, okay? The State of the Union address. Okay, everyone's we've all seen Nancy Pelosi tear up the speech, and getting a little huffy about it. He didn't shake my hand, blah blah blah. Well, that's too bad. Sorry for you, loser. Anyway, but during the State of the Union address, he had given 100-year-old, I forget how exactly old, 103, 100, anyway, over 100 years old, Tuskegee Airman, right? This man was a colonel when he got out, when he retired. Multiple wars. He was in World War II. He did over 150 missions during his entire career as a pilot, flying over Berlin. He was in the Korean War, and he was in the Vietnam War. Fantastic. This man, a true American hero, right? He even had his family there. I believe it was his grandson or great grandson that said that he wanted to be in the Space Force, and even his the great granddaughter that was given that. Oh boy, no, that was someone else. Anyway, but what I'm getting at is that the left wants to explode that. Oh, Rush Limbaugh, even he got the Presidential Medal of Freedom, right there. It was awarded to him by the First Lady of the United States. And very, very shocking moment for him and for basically the leftist media too. And they're like, oh, how can he give a racist, Rush Limbaugh, the Presidential Medal of Freedom when you got the Tuskegee Airmen? Well, he promoted the Tuskegee Airmen. I forget the gentleman's name, but he promoted him to Brigadier General. He gave him his star, General Star, as an honorary, hey, thank you for your service to the United States. And I believe if I was that man, I believe getting a General Star as a part of my retirement, and that way my legacy carries on as a general, not as a colonel. That is a big deal. That is a big deal. I would prefer that over the Presidential Medal of Freedom. The man's already won his awards. Great. fantastic, super, hero of the United States. Great. Which goes to my next point of Rush Limbaugh, right? As everyone knows, Rush Limbaugh was diagnosed with cancer, stage 4 lung cancer, prior to the State of the Union address. And as I said, he was given the Presidential Medal of Freedom by the First Lady as a big surprise. Okay, I'll be honest with y'all. All right, I don't know Rush Limbaugh that much. Never really listened to the man. And so you get conflicting information out there. Now, one thing that's really kind of upsetting is obviously everyone's going to say like, "Oh, Rush Limbaugh's a racist. He said racist things." Blah blah blah. Here's 5 minutes of Rush Limbaugh saying deplorable stuff. Blah blah blah. Which is like 10-second little clips of him saying some questionable things. Out of context of probably what the entire conversation was about, because that's how the left works. Anyway. I do know that he was on an episode of Family Guy. Very funny episode. But hey, either way, do I believe that the man's racist? No, I don't. He just speaks his mind. I don't think that, I just don't. Maybe he is, maybe he isn't. I don't think he is. I know a lot of people that listen to him, that follow him, say a lot of great things about him, but, these little 10-second clips of him saying that something racially suggestive, or the left and the media are very famous at this, giving only 10-second little snippets without taking the entire conversation into context. Okay, so I would say watch those with a real big grain of salt, because do I really think that President Trump will give an active Klan member, racist, or Nazi or something like that the Presidential Medal of Freedom? Absolutely not. No way. So that's just my point on that. But again, where's the left media saying, "Oh, they gave that the Tuskegee Airmen a promotion"? Oh, was that? But no, it goes crickets. Nothing. How is it statistically even possible? Even if you don't like President Trump, even if you don't, how is it statistically possible that he can't even do one thing right that you can acknowledge? Everything. Because you know what? This is what the left does. They dwell on that hate. They want you to hate. They want you to see all the negative things, and they're just, again, throwing shit on the wall, seeing if it sticks. They just want you to believe their bullshit because it gets you riled up. Don't fall for this shit, man. That's why I'm in the position now. That's why I'm doing what I'm doing now, so I can give the truth to you guys, in my opinion on it. Because I can read through this Democratic bullshit that they're putting out all the time, man. It's constantly, every day, it's just something new, something just full. You can't give the man credit for nothing. You really think that every day that President Trump wakes up, he's just thinking, how can I fuck over the American people? No. Absolutely not. There's so many great things that he is doing that's just being blown over by the media. And if the lies that the media tell you, are not opening your eyes to what's really going on and how the left works and how these Democrats are just pushing their agenda, trying to get votes, trying to get power, this entire cancel culture. Can anyone tell me that the Democratic candidates that are up there right now trying to win the primary, do you think that they really believe in 80 or 90 or even 100% of the shit that they're spewing out there? No, I don't believe it. I don't believe that Elizabeth Warren believes in all this. She's just spewing out crap for you to hear that, she is progressive. Oh, wow, she is for the minority. She is for the LGBTQ plus happy symbol shit, people. Wow, yeah, no, I don't believe it. Not one bit, and it's just getting crazier. Every day it's just getting crazier. More lies, more bullshit that's getting put out there, And so that's what I'm going to start doing. I'm going to find these articles. I'm going to find this and how they just blow up. Like, another point, there was a little black girl that was going to get some kind of scholarship from the president. And then they're like, oh, she's already going to a good school in Philadelphia for free, or already paid for. She doesn't need a scholarship. Trump, oh my God, Trump's terrible. Like, wow, dude, really? she's going to a good school already. Great. Now she's going to even better. Like, who cares, man? Like Trump could cure cancer tomorrow, and then they'll still call him a racist. Or why didn't he do it sooner? Come on, man. Complete and utter joke. So, who do we think is going to win the Democratic primaries? Right? Bernie Sanders is looking to be a favorite right now. Pete Buttigieg just won all the Iowa caucuses. So that was kind of surprising. But who do I think? Who do I think is going to win the primaries? This is my feeling about it. I still think that Joe Biden is going to get it. I think, and this is just my opinion, based off no fact, I'm just thinking that how this is going to be. I believe that Bernie Sanders is going to get screwed over by the DNC yet again. Why? What is the DNC's big hard on for Bernie Sanders, or against him, as I should say? One thing, is he really a Democrat? No, he's an independent, right? He's going to say he's a democratic socialist, which, in layman's terms, is just the same fancy shit as being a communist, just a different shade of brown. But I believe that because he's not. Is he really a Democrat, though? No, I don't think so. He's truly an independent, communist, however you want to look at it, socialist. I still think that Joe Biden is going to win this. Joe Biden did go into the entire presidential race, thinking that he's going to win the candidacy, based off of him being the vice president before for Barack Obama. But after Iowa, I think it was kind of a big eye opener for him. Now he's going to be pushing real hard on this one. I still think that Bernie Sanders is going to get screwed over by the DNC. I still think that Joe Biden's going to win the nomination. And here's a little bit of a clue that I kind of gathered about this. So during the entire impeachment, right? It's a big thing about Joe Biden. They didn't call, obviously, when it came to the witnesses, there was talk about if they called in John Bolton, we wanted Hunter Biden to come in, be questioned. Democrats were very hesitant on that. No, what does Hunter Biden have anything to do with it? Who was basically like the subject of why the investigation was going to go on in the first place. Anyway, but I believe that the DNC and the Democrats have already chosen. If they throw in a fit about Joe Biden right now, I kind of feel that they're going to have an inside push for putting Joe Biden as the nominee here. That's just my opinion. Again, putting on my little conspiracy hat on this one, but this is what I think. Why were they pushing, blowing this entire Biden thing up in the first place? Was it to protect Biden? Was it to make sure that they didn't get too much dirt and information against Joe Biden? Very possibly. I still think that Bernie Sanders is going to get screwed over on this one. So if you're a Bernie fan, Bernie supporter, don't get too excited. Even though he's kind of ahead right now and looking to be the favorite, there's still some time. Honestly, I don't give a shit who is going to be. I think any of those nominees that they're for the Democrats are just going to get chewed up and spit out by Trump during the general election. So we'll see. And what are your opinions on it? What do you think? Who do you think is going to win the Democratic nomination? Do you think that I'm full of shit, or that maybe I'm wrong? Do you agree that's kind of like why the impeachment trial started? Why was it such a mess? Do you think that the abuse of power is on Trump, or was it really on the Democrats? Well, for now, that's going to conclude my show. I want to thank you all again for coming and sticking with me on the page. Again, look out for these new videos coming out on Tuesdays and Thursdays. I'm going to keep my podcast rolling. I'm going to be putting them out at 10 o'clock, 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. You can catch me on YouTube. You can even catch me on Twitter now at SweetLou8. Follow me on the page here at Facebook, and look for me on YouTube. I got all my past videos on there. And again, thank you all for your patience. I'm back, putting out more content, some cool ass memes, engage in the conversation, have fun, and God bless.